Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Sports Chat. We're here, Tanya Ray Fox, but RJ Pomelo. He's a little fill-in for us tonight because Tanya couldn't be with us, unfortunately, but trust me, his knowledge is just as good, if not better.
Much better.
But as you know from last time, and you better have seen us last time, that we start off the show with some news topics, what's happened recently. So the first thing I want to bring up to everyone is the Bruins have made some noise, and after struggling and dropping 3 straight, the Bruins have stepped it up, and now they've won 3 straight, and part of that is thanks to a couple of deals they made. One was bringing Caberlet to Boston, which was a deal that was in the works for a while. They wanted to get him. He's a puck-moving defenseman. They've wanted to get a puck-moving defenseman, and from what I've seen, he's a smooth player. He's a great addition. Their power play looks better already. And also, they picked up another centerman, and I don't really understand that deal as much, but it stays with what Chiarelli likes to do and stay deep at that center position. So it helps the team. I think it's going to help them move forward. I think it's going to help them improve. I think that I'm not exactly going to jump on and start drinking the Kool-Aid again yet, because I gave them some credit last time we did this show, and then what did they go out and do? They dropped 3 straight and made me look like a buffoon. So I won't be made to be a fool of, and I'm not going to jump back on the bandwagon yet, but they do look like they have some talent, and they look like they're re-energized. Tim Thomas got some rest and looked very good tonight in their win, and they beat Calgary, and I know that was a big win for them, and it's good to see them moving forward, making improvements, and hopefully it'll all snowball and keep getting better, and they'll turn out to have a very good season with Caberlet here. So I like the deals. I think that they help point this team in the right direction, but that's not all the sports news we have today. I know RJ's stewing with a great game that happened last night, so why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
I absolutely am. I've got some Celtics news for us. The Celtics have successfully made it through the first half of the season. The All-Star break is over. And their first game back, they finally won in Golden State. It's been 8 years since they've won a game in Golden State. And last night they won 115-93. Rondo, Garnett, Pierce, and Allen all had great games. Rondo with 19 points, Garnett with 24, Pierce with 23, and Allen with 18. And it was also nice to see Delonte West and Semi Oden get off the injury list and step back onto the court. And pretty soon it looks like the Celtics are going to be back at full strength. Shaquille O'Neal should be joining them again very shortly. And just another note from the game last night, Kendrick Perkins did bang his knee, but he seems to be fine, and there's no need to worry there. So you got any Red Sox news for us, Brian?
I might have a little bit of spring training news. And that is great to hear about those Celtics because it's been a while.
Oh, it absolutely
I can't remember
has.
the last time that I actually did see that, which is an interesting, fun little fact that I'm going to share with you guys. Special, just from me.
I like
just from me
facts.
to you guys. A little special thing is that the last time the Celtics won their starting lineup, get this.
Yeah.
You know their lineup now. Their lineup then was at point, Tony Delk. At the 2 guard, Yeri Welsh, who's I think that was his only year in the NBA. And our old buddy Paul Pierce at the 3. Then we had our old friend, I'm not going to knock him, Walter McCarty at the 4 and Vin Baker
Walter.
at the 5. So it's been a
Baker.
while. But over to the Red Sox. The Red Sox, as you know, as we said last time, that the equipment truck was on its way, and it got there, and so did everyone else. And the best news so far is that Adrian Gonzalez is now able to hit. They were holding him back, they were letting him field in spring training, but they weren't allowing him to hit yet because of his shoulder injury, and doctors cleared him. So Adrian Gonzalez now is hitting off a tee, and the hitting coach has moved the tee up a lot to simulate a high fastball for him, and says that that's the hardest pitch that he'll have to deal with that shoulder injury. And all signs seem to be a go. He looks to be hitting well, playing well, and he seems very excited to be here in Boston. Crawford arrived. He also seems very excited to be here in Boston and is looking forward to a long season. So it's a good team moving forward. We're going to have a lot of fun, especially with that lineup. Everyone's trying to pick their lineup now, and no one really knows what the lineup is going to be because they have a lot of options. And that's always a good thing, especially with Terry Francona, who's a smart manager and he knows his baseball, and he's probably going to be able to fit his lineup to certain matchups more, whoever's pitching that day, whether it's lefty, righty. And I think it'll be good for the Sox, and it's good to see them in spring training. And their first spring training game is just around the corner at the beginning of March, so I'm looking forward to that. But what about this big deal that happened in the NBA? I've been hearing about this melodrama.
Yeah, it absolutely is. God, I feel like I've been hearing about it for 2 or 3 months now.
2 or 3 years,
yeah,
maybe.
Honestly. It finally happened. Carmelo Anthony is now a member of the New York Knicks, and you have to assume that all of New York has to be pretty excited about this news. It's been a long time since the Knicks have had anything at all to be excited about. And it seems like there's a mixed reaction around the league. Some people think it makes them an automatic contender to go to the NBA Finals. Personally, I don't think it does. I think that it probably puts them somewhere 5-6 seed in the playoffs. It gives them a solid team, gives them a solid starting lineup anyway. They have no depth at all anymore, though. It feels like the Knicks honestly gave away most of their team. In the deal, the Nuggets got Wilson Chandler, they got Danilo Gallinari, they got Raymond Felton, and they also got a first-round pick in 2014 and 2 second-round picks in 2012 and 2013. And it really feels like Carmelo Anthony is somebody that you can build a franchise around. He's a great athlete. He's a solid player, one of the best in the league, probably a top 10 player. But I don't think that he's somebody that you can just automatically put on your team and makes you a contender. I think that from a Celtics standpoint, the Knicks could be a problem in the first round of the playoffs. I don't see them going any deeper than the second round, but if the Celtics drop to a 3 seed, which is very possible, especially with the way that the Bulls have been playing, and the Celtics and Heat are tied right now, and there's no telling who's going to win that race in the East. If the Celtics drop to the 3 seed and the Knicks make their way up and they're the 6th seed, you meet the Knicks in the first round of the playoffs and they catch fire, there's no telling what could happen. So from a Celtics standpoint of view, this is some big news. The other deal in the NBA that just actually went through this morning, Deron Williams went to the Nets from the Jazz, and this move, not as big as the Carmelo deal. Didn't get nearly as much hype as the Carmelo deal did, but
not at all.
I mean, it's a good move for the Nets. You get Deron Williams. It's not going to hurt them.
No, I don't think it'll help them greatly.
No.
But it's certainly not going to hurt them, but it does make that Atlantic division a whole lot more interesting now moving forward.
It certainly does.
It was basically Celtics or bust.
Yeah.
And now you've got teams that are coming up and being contenders, and I just would like to say that I think it's a big deal that the Knicks are going to be relevant again, because in every sport, you want those big cities, those big markets to be relevant, and it's good for the sport. And I think for the NBA, they have to be happy that the Knicks are going to finally start being a little more relevant again.
Absolutely.
And it couldn't be a bad thing. It's good to have some competition for the Celtics in the Atlantic Division and in the East. And the East overall, over the last couple of years, has gotten very strong. And it's going to be tough for any team to come out of the East now.
I don't know about you, but I, for one, cannot wait to hear the applause, the noise that the crowd makes in the Garden when Carmelo gets introduced.
It'll be exciting.
It's going to be probably the loudest that place has been in a long time.
In a very long time, but good for them.
Absolutely.
Good for them. But now we're going to move on to the important segment of the show, which is what this show is really about. It's our chat room. This is what we want this show to be about, is your input and you giving it to us, giving us your opinions and letting us sit here and argue about them and decide if you're right or wrong. Whether you are or not, that's what we think, and that's all that matters, right? But we're going to start off with moving back to the Cabriolet deal for the Bruins and the Kelly deal. And we're going to just talk a little bit about the deals. And we got some good input from Chris on Facebook, who said, the Cabriolet deal is exactly what the Bruins needed. The Kelly deal is a head-scratcher, but it doesn't really help or hurt the team. And I think Chris had some very good input. I completely agree. I think that the Cabriolet deal is what they really needed. I've seen their power play improve already. It looks smoother. It looks swifter. It looks like they're more confident, and all his teammates have said that they are very happy with the confidence that he's showing. His veteran leadership is big, and it just looks like they're moving in the right direction. It's helping them out because their power play was a problem. And if they can improve that, it's going to be great. It's going to be good to see. I agree with Chris that the Kelly deal was a bit of a head-scratcher, but as I said before earlier on in the show, that Chiarelli likes to be deep at that center position. There are forwards on the Bruins right now, centers that are playing forward on the Bruins right now, and they have a lot of centers down that roster. I think that a big part of having a lot of good centers is they're winning face-offs, and they showed that last night. They won a lot of face-offs, and that it turns into opportunities, and I think that's great. I think that it's sending the team in the right direction. I don't know if it's a big enough deal that it's going to get them to the cup, though.
I think it could potentially at least get them in a position where they have a shot at the cup. Because Cabriolet is that veteran presence that you need in the locker room and you need on the ice, and it seems already that he's got the team. Yeah, they have a whole new attitude. The past 3 games, 3-game winning streak, they seem to have a purpose again. And you can you feel the buzz in Boston. Everybody's excited about the Bruins. Everybody's excited about this move. And sometimes that's all you need to get going.
Yeah, it's a very good hockey town here in Boston. There's a very good hockey atmosphere.
Absolutely.
People love their hockey, and it's good that the Bruins are making moves and trying to be relevant, because we all know what the Patriots, the Red Sox, and the Celtics have done over the last decade, and they're kind of the ones that are hanging on their coattails.
Absolutely, it's about time that you hear some buzz about the Bruins, because it's been a while, and it's nice to see them make a move that could possibly put them in a position to get something done.
And I'm really happy about it, and hopefully they can keep moving forward and making the right kind of moves.
I hope
now,
so.
What else do we have out of our chat room today?
Well,